everybody, and welcome tonight to our information session on these wonderful products, the drops. My name is Penny Toner. I am coming in from Grand Prairie, Alberta. I'm here to introduce our amazing host tonight, Ricia Adair. Ricia and I have been friends for well over 20, 25 years. She has 25 years in the marketing background. She's here to help us, has incredible knowledge. She made it last year to number 3 in all of Canada and only started her business the end of April. We're very
Awesome.
proud of her. She also reached the rank of president, which is quite a task. And I think now, wait a minute, I just got the goosebumps. Last week, Risha ranked number 26 in all of North America. So we're
Woo!
really grateful here to share her knowledge, and we're so proud of her. So please help me welcome Risha Adair. We'll get everybody to turn their mics off, please.
Thank you, Penny. That was such a beautiful introduction. We've got a great house tonight and some amazing testimonials coming our way. I'm so excited to pass the mic over to our guest speakers so you can hear their story. And talking about stories, there's a little bit of chit chat in the Zoom room before I came on and started the recording, but we are talking about stories, and we all have a story. So, with your permission, I'd like to share mine. First, we're going to do a share screen. So picture paints 1,000 words. I'd like to share some stories with you through my picture show. Let's get her rolling. Penny, can you see the screen? Give me a thumbs up. We're good. Okay, good. Okay, so I have quite a story too, and I still pinch myself and wonder, how did this ever happen? But if I may, with your permission, share my story with you. My husband and I sold everything that we owned in Canada, and we bought our dream home, Casa 700 Mangoes in Manzanillo, Mexico. You can see the arrow. We're up on a little bit of a crest overlooking beautiful Santiago Bay. That is a 9-mile beach, and it's flat. It's gorgeous. You can ride your bike, you can run, you can swim. So many fish. It's just beautiful. And, there we are. We're living the dream, and everyone thinks how great for them, right? Well, let me tell you this. It looks good in pictures, but the reality was when we showed up, our house was unattended because after we closed, the existing owner had pulled all maintenance. The lady that cleaned, the pool maintenance guy, everything got pulled. And we moved in 5 months later. So the pool was full of algae. The pool pump had broken down. The neighboring lot had grown over our property. Doorknobs were falling off. It was quite a story. And there was a parade of tradesmen coming through. This is a little boutique resort. So we had people coming to stay with us that winter. We had to get it ship-shop shape. The gardens needed to be done. Yeah, I'm telling you, it was quite the show. And as a result, I got very, very sick. It's such a long story, but throw in our lawyer stole $23,000 of closing costs on us, and our tiny little nest egg ended us being very, very broke. So we were in a financial crisis here, and anyone that had rented our villas for that winter had e-transferred all the money last September. So that money was long since spent. I didn't even have $60 to put into the gas tank to drive them around and do day trips. It was a pretty rough winter. I got really, really sick. I went to see the doctor, and he said, well, Risha, I've looked it up. I've done some serious research about your situation here, and you have a serious case of FFB. Dr. Tom, whatever could that be? He says, you're fat, frumpy, and broke. We've got a crisis here. And that was the truth. I had gained so much weight. I was ill. I had no more money. It was quite a situation to be in. And we were supposed to be living the dream. And along came that magic day, April 17th, 2024, that changed my life. Chris and Joni Budd, they live in Costa Rica, long, long time friends. They're Canadians as well. They phoned me, Risha, you need to know about these drops. So I suspect Joni had seen my Facebook postings, how fat I had gotten, right? And she says, I better call that girl Risha. So all kidding aside, she also said to me, knowing that I'm a businesswoman, she said, Risha, this is the craziest thing. I started posting testimonials through what they call a system of growth on my Facebook page. And as a result, people are asking me for this product. And I thought, wow, this might be the godsend. This might be the answer to my prayers. So I started doing what Joni coached me to do, posting as well. And the comments came in and said, I want the drops. How do I get the drops? And again, I live in Manzanillo, so I had to do some magic logistical stuff to get those drops from Canada Depot over to different people across the country. But it all worked out. We figured it out. And we had several goals because again, too, there was a lot of things in this house that needed to be done. One of them was my fridge was wrecking all my food. It was freezing all my food. So a new fridge was top on the goal. It was a 1-year goal. We realized it in 7 months. I am now very much in love with my appliance. I love this fridge. I love it. That's Sarah, my maid, celebrating with me. I now have a maid, a gardener, and a pool guy. I have a whole staff. Life has changed because remember, I didn't have $60. As a matter of fact, the part of the story I didn't tell you, I only had enough on my credit card because Mike is adamant, my husband, never put more on your card than you can pay for next month. And considering my budget, my small CPP pension, I knew that I could only buy 2 boxes. And that's how I started my business with 2 boxes, one for me and one to retail. Another 7-month realization, a 1-year goal, we brought in the paint crews and put in beautiful paint all over our white walls. And Mike says, I like it white. And I says, not in this marriage, honey. No way. We're in Mexico. We're going with all full color. One thing that really needed to be done for safety reasons was the pergola on the lower level outside Villa Jenny was starting to rot and collapse. So that had to be done. It's all tropical woods, special woods that needed to be treated specifically for termites and rains and all kinds of things. So we built our new pergola. Penny, we've got some mics that need to be muted, please. So we built the new pergola. That was a $5,000 structure, and that got done within 6 months of our business. And Mike, having a motorcycle since he was 16, was so excited to get his brand new motorcycle. So excited about that. And he's like a kid in a candy store when he rides that thing, I'll tell you. And then Christmas Eve, we had a small earthquake, and over the next few days led several more earthquakes that failed our swimming pool. We had guests that were coming. This is all just this year, January 2nd. I had to make that phone call to say, hey, we're looking forward to having you stay with us at our resort. But guess what? The pool's broken. That wasn't a fun call to make, but I did find a team that could expedite the repair a few $1,000s later. And we were able to celebrate the reopening of the pool on January 14th. Now, I want to say this to you. I'm not saying all this to impress you, but impress upon you how my life has changed so drastically. At this point, it was inside of 7 and 8 months because I only started the end of April. That's how much my life has changed, and your life can change as well. Because what I'm going to share with you tonight is the best of the best. If you're looking for a regular MLM, that's not us. This isn't the call for you. But if you're looking for something very unique where people are going to knock on your door asking you for your product so they can change their life and get well, this is what we have in store for you. So going forward, I just came back from Punta Cana, May 5th. I flew back home. It was an all expenses paid trip, a beautiful dream vacation. There was close to 200 of us there. I was able to connect with fabulous people from all over North America. We made such great friends. In the bottom picture, you'll see Christy Walsh and Mary Olson, other top producers in Canada. All of us have been brand new in the business less than a year. And here we are on a diamond resort vacation. And this company truly, truly spoiled us. That's how many people we were. I mean, it was just an amazing, amazing event. And thank you, Partner Co, for spoiling us so much. We had parties and welcome parties, and they took us to the skate park where I did zip lining for the first time in my life, scared to death. Oh my God, but it was amazing. Let's talk about how this has changed my health, because I really felt quite overweight. It was too many pounds more than I wanted. But the top picture will share with you how heavy I was on the top for me. And on the bottom picture, only 13 days later, how quickly my body started to transition. After being on the product for 3 months, you can see the after picture. The before picture was taken at our going away party in Canada. Wow. And I look and I go, who is that fat girl? And how'd she get inside my computer? But again, we're going to share some amazing testimonials with you tonight. I now feel like I'm 35 years old. I sleep like a baby. I feel great. I think I look pretty good. I think I look a lot younger than I actually am. And it's just amazing how much energy I have and clarity, no more brain fog. I used to have serious owies in my fingers and toes. That's all gone. I used to have plantar fasciitis. That's all gone. I don't even have a hangnail or a paper cut to share with you tonight. I am so grateful and so blessed. I owe it all to Dara Zobrist and John Wadsworth, the owners of our company. We are 2 years celebrating now. They found a group of companies. In fact, John Wadsworth was very much involved as a top money producer with one of the companies, and they were all having financial crisis. They were purchased by a corporation that was making bad decisions for the network marketing industry. And along came COVID that really did some serious harm to the production. Darren and John looked at these companies, the leaders, the people, their goals, their dreams, the legacies that they've built for their families, and the stellar products behind all of these individual companies. And Darren made the decision and said, let's just buy them. So we are now called Partner Co. I love these guys. They're young, they're in their 40s. They were there with their families at Punta Cana. We are simply better together. In the last 12 months, I've learned a lot about hormonal imbalance, and have a look at these as I speak about them. I had no idea that what I was experiencing here had everything to do with my body being out of check. Mood swings, right? Those anxious moments, low libido. No, not for me. I'm done. Don't want it. Headaches, night sweats, food cravings. Give me the sugar. Bring it on. Bring it on. Hot flashes, acne, insomnia, tiredness, fatigue, weight gain. When I looked at this page, easy, I was 5 check marks. So I ask you to make a mental note. And how many check marks are you? Well, especially the people before you started the drops. We have a lot of brand partners that are now rid of all these symptoms. But for the guests, I'd like you to make a mental check. Not to worry, we have amazing products that you will feel, that you will feel younger, you will feel more energized, that you will feel stronger with your immunity system, you will feel your gut health, you will feel that you're sleeping better, you will feel that your weight is falling off, and you'll feel that your jeans fit better, and you'll feel that you're shopping for skinny jeans. We have those products, and I've never been with a company that I can feel and actually experience and look better and feel better. People say, what are you doing? You look great. What are you doing? Well, thanks to Partner Co. I want to give great credit to Dr. Ray Strand, Chief Medical Officer. We've just welcomed Dr. Josh Plant onto our board, who's our Chief Scientific Officer, one of the most highly acclaimed scientists in the world. Dr. Pina, he's out of Mexico City. He is definitely the world's leader in gastrointestinal situations. Brett West, the world's leader in Tahitian noni product. Dr. Crystal Vance on our Wellness Council, Kristen White. We've got an amazing scientific team that oversee 1,040 plus annual quality tests. Our products are well tested. There are several published clinical studies. We have the products created by doctors, backed by science. What got me really excited, because when Chris and Joni showed me this business last April, I did pay for my Wi-Fi bill. So I saw this global opportunity. My goodness, here I am in Manzanillo, Mexico, and we've got people in Canada that I can connect with, people in Mexico, people in the United States, and you as well. With our system of growth, you can make a post on Facebook about someone's testimonial, and maybe somebody in Italy sees that, asks you if the drops are available. They definitely are. You send them a smart link. The European office fulfills the order, and next Friday you get paid. It's completely transparent. There are no international licenses or business tax numbers or anything like that. It's completely transparent. You can build in 50 plus markets that were well established with the infrastructure already in place. Let's share with you just a few nuggets on our products. Skincerity, to my knowledge, is the only roll-on breathable skincare mask in the world. It was developed by a team of dermatologists specifically for problem skin, damaged skin, burn victims, etc. It is amazing. Everyone should have one, not only in their first aid kit, but in their beauty kit as well. It's great for sunspots, anti-aging. When I first got this product, I put it on an old battle scar, and in 3 weeks, I noticed that the battle scar was just about disappeared. I was blown away. Here's a picture of Marlene sharing with us her legs. She had a serious case of maybe it was eczema or psoriasis, but in any case, it was causing her a lot of discomfort. After rolling on the Skincerity for a few weeks, she ended up ridding herself of the problem and having gorgeous legs again. Noni and collagen, one of our favorites. I love it. You need to look after the anti-aging on the inside of your body as well as your skin on the outside. You need to have healthy organs. The collagen, that's all about keeping your body young. Love this product. The noni is the most efficacious fruit in the world. My goodness, we have the rights to the noni grown in Tahiti in the French Polynesia, where it's on a strip of land that's volcanic, ash induced. It's complete with iridoids and so many great vitamins and minerals for you. This is what I call my army of soldiers, my health soldiers. There's not a day that doesn't go by that I have a shot in the morning, shot at night, and I'll power dose it if I feel a bug is trying to creep into my body. Overall, it's going to promote health and wellness. It supports a healthy immunity system. So especially in the times of colds and flus, people in the house around you are sick. Power dose your noni. Helps boost energy and endurance, helps sustain joint health and promotes mobility. So if you've got stairs, if you like getting in and out of your car with ease, if you like to get in and out of airplanes, this is a product for you. Supports a healthy cardiovascular system, all of these things, and it helps you feel happy. The noni is a must product to keep long-term health. CJ here was boasting about his success on the drops, showing his testimonial pictures, but I want to tell you, when he came on our call several years ago, he had a serious liver situation, and the doctor said to him, "Get your affairs in order, CJ, this is serious." John Wadsworth, the father, gave him a bottle of the Noni Max. And he started drinking that and power dosing 4 shots a day. He continued with the Noni Max, and that conversation with his doctor was several years ago. CJ Zenz is now playing with his grandchildren that weren't even born all those years ago when that first diagnosis came in. The Noni Max is the great product. Please mute the lines there, Penny. Thank you. We've got NutriFeed, an amazing line of nutritionals by our doctors. Probiotics was created by Dr. Pina, again, the world's leader in gut health. Definitely a product you want to have, in my opinion. It's the best. Vinali is our best seller out of China that tightens your skin, as well as it's loaded with vitamin C. So many people are saying they don't have allergy symptoms anymore. Omega Q for your the healthy omegas for your brain and for your heart. Amplify. Penny was just telling me she takes 4 in the morning, and that's what gets her going. Optimal M's, Optimal V's for your muscles, for your eyes, for your blood. And the MOA is my favorite. I was asking Reese in the very beginning, I said, I've got serious arthritis in fingers and toes. I need something to help me with the pain. He said, Risha, as soon as you get a paycheck, you buy some MOA. That's what I did. MOA was the second product that I bought. It's loaded with 36 superfoods, liquid nutrition. I keep it in the fridge. I love it cold. And you can see these ingredients come from wild exotic places, and many of them are highly expensive, lion's mane mushroom, etc. But what it does is certainly help with pain and inflammation. This lady had an ankle surgery that went badly south on her. After taking the MOA for a short time, she's got her pretty feet back. Same with this gentleman again. We've got a list of 3 or 4 or 5 products that everyone says, this is my favorite. No, and MOA is my favorite too. And the drops and the renew it. MOA is definitely everyone's favorite, because after you hit the age 40, especially if you did sports and serious physical activities in your life, you're going to have some pains, right? And the MOA is the one that's going to help you. I cheated today, but I did have my sugar stop before I cheated. I'm usually on very clean program with my drops, which I'll talk about in a minute. But today I wanted to celebrate a little bit. So this sugar stop stops the sugars from spiking your bloodstream, the sugars created by carbs from spiking your bloodstream. So it's not intended for you to have every day, so you can cheat every day, but it is loaded with fiber, so many people do enjoy it every day, and it's a great product for that. Pure Nourish is our protein shake, and I love it. It has 18 grams of vegetable protein. It's not soy, it's not whey, it's pure pea protein. It is so loaded with nutrition that if all the food in the planet should disappear tomorrow, but you had pure nourish and fresh water, you could be fully nutrified and not die of malnourishment. I like the cocoa flavor, so I add the Power Boost, Cocoa Power Boost. Giving greens, I put regularly on my salads. These are all great products as well too, and it's part of my regular breakfast regime. And who wants to sleep better? Yes. Who would like to look younger? Yes. Well, let's talk about Renew, Fountain of Youth in a Box. Renew helps combat the natural aging process to promote youth and vitality. It is the only product of its kind in the world. We have 2 international patents. It's a sachet you put in a glass of water. Many people take it just before bedtime. Some people prefer to take it sometime in the afternoon, but it is formulated to trigger human growth hormone, HGH production. As we reach the age of 30, our body is pretty maxed out in HGH production and we start to go on the decline. Renew brings it back, another great anti-aging product. And I'm going to say this, and Deborah can probably agree because Deborah was on that beautiful trip with me. You see the Partner Co people, we all looked so healthy. None of us had wrinkles. We all look super young. I'm going to show you a picture of Barbara McCubbin. She's in her mid 70s and she looks like she's 47. And that was common with every Partner Co person. These products prove it. So you're going to have deeper, more restored sleep, increased libido. If anyone wants to start a family at this age, go. Hey, you're going to have stamina and pleasure, reduce body fat, increases lean muscle. It's a great product to marry up with the drops. You're going to lose weight so much quicker. Promote youthful looking skin and hair, improve mood and energy, and cell regeneration. Let's talk about the drops. The drops and the Renew go so well together. The drops is a homeopathic product, is completely natural, safe, and effective. It's hormone-free, created by doctors 16 years ago. There's over 1 million bottles sold on the market. You will drop twice the weight as diet alone, clinically proven and doctor recommended. I'm going to say this. If a product is on the market for 16 years and over 1 million bottles sold, it has to withstand the test of time. And for that, it has to be a good product. I was just hearing the earlier chat. Gwen was sharing that her girlfriend went to the doctor and the doctor says, whoa, something's up here. I have to lower your thyroid medication. And she said, well, I've been taking these drops, showed him the list of ingredients. And the doctor says, well, not only am I reducing your thyroid medication, I'm going to reduce your cholesterol medication too. And that's only after 3 weeks. And the lady had lost 12 pounds and sleeping better. So this is what our drops are doing for people. It helps curb hunger and controls your appetite. And I can celebrate by saying in 12 months, I no longer have white sugar. I don't want the dessert. I don't want the ice cream. Get it out of my house. I used to be such a sugar addict. I celebrate that. It's going to help balance your hormones, including the insulin, the ghrelin, the hunger hormone, leptin, and the cortisol, the anxiety hormone. It will stimulate your metabolism, so you will feel motivated and feel younger and increase your energy. And it also, we have ashwagandha and rhodiola in it that's going to help with stress and stabilizing your mood. So now we know, just as Gwen's friend's story, it supports your thyroid, maintain healthy blood sugar levels. Many people talk about their A1C numbers coming down. A lot of people going off the diabetes medicine with their doctor's advice. A lot of my customers say, you know, I no longer have brain fog. I think clearly. It's amazing, the brain clarity, memory improvements, and you will lose weight in your entire body. I call it God's miracle drops. I'm so grateful for these drops. So now let's introduce to you something that we've been knowing all our lives. Exercise 15 to 30 minutes, 5 days a week. We know that already, right? Go dancing, walk your dogs, go swimming, do some fun stuff. Bicycle, make sure it's something aerobic though. Drink your water 8 glasses a day. That's easy. We all need to do that. And you're going to incorporate a clean eating program from this approved food list. There is no shortage of great foods on this list. You will not go hungry. You need to eat a minimum of 1,200 calories from this list. And if you're hungry, have something more from this list. Have another piece of chicken leg, or have an avocado, or some walnuts, or some almonds or something. There's so much that you can eat. And there's so many creative things. We have some amazing recipe books. Now, Let's start talking about real stories, real people, real results. Jane Storch, my good friend out of Victoria, she's now down 50 pounds. Look at the transition in my girlfriend. Dr. Crystal lost a whole person battling with age, with weight all her life. And this picture of the beautiful girl on the right was taken over 6 years ago. And Dr. Crystal, I just partied with her in Punta Cana. She still looks gorgeous like that girl on the right. So keeping with this clean eating program, your exercise and your water, making it a discipline, you will not regain back the weight. This is not a diet, it's a lifestyle change. Tracy, West Virginia. Athletes love our products too. Their hormones go out of balance. Plus, they have far better performance when they use our products. Katie out of Phoenix, 30-day transition. Maggie out of Fox Island, Washington. Julie Park was very, very sick when she started the drop. She was married to a doctor. And I just again partied with Julie in Punta Cana, and she's that gorgeous, sexy girl on the left, highly successful with our company as well, too. The transitions that happen are absolutely fabulous, absolutely amazing. The Hublers have a brood of 5 kids, right? Super, super busy. They also have a very active physiotherapy clinic. Josh wanted to tear the science apart before he was going to recommend it to his clients. Well, they did that and they were very satisfied. There was so much science backing this product. And they became senior offices in just 4.5 months, which is a very notable position to be in. Sheila, wow, when she was on our call, there wasn't a dry eye in the house. Sheila had just had cancer, chemotherapy, as well as radiation. She was a very, very sick, weak person. She came on with the drops and she got her life back, said goodbye to 25 pounds. Now is a very happy person. Chris Bailey, he explained to us about Lyme disease, how he was having trouble getting any kind of medical help. The drops came along, it helped him lose the weight, to get healthy, get younger, and also curb his Lyme disease as well. Selena Kirby, she explained to us about her BP numbers coming way down, her A1C numbers coming down, and look at her, she looks a whole lot younger too. Ashley wanted the drops so she could manage her night sweats, her anxiety, as well as her hot flashes. Along the way, she did that, lost 15 pounds. Her husband, Reese, said, I'm going to challenge you and I'll see what this is all about. He lost 65 pounds, got rid of his Dr. Pepper addiction, as well as Oreo cookies. I want to remind you, we have 1 billion women going into menopause this year. There's a lot of people out there that we can help because these drops definitely help with all those menopausal symptoms. Our beautiful co-host tonight, Penny Toner. Last July, just about 1 year ago, the lady on the left was suffering a lot from life. She was laying in bed most of the time. She explained that she couldn't work, so she needed to be with her mom. Her mom in her 80s was looking after her. So it's a very humbling experience for Penny. And you can see on the right, 2 months later, our dear Penny is getting well. And she shared with me today that she had a normal day and was out and about doing errands. And, we take those things for granted when we're healthy. But for Penny, every day is a new day. So these products have really, really helped her get well. And she's well on her way to full recovery. She had cancer, colon cancer, and 5 surgeries that one didn't seem to help the other. So, but she's on her way, and we're pretty excited about how well she's getting. Jerry Wyndham not only lost 12 pounds, but he was saying to me, Ricia, I no longer have the shakes. When I hold the soup spoon up to my mouth, I no longer have to hold the other hand to steady it. And my husband, Mike, said, I no longer have the shakes. In fact, my reflux is gone, and so is my migraines. So there's so much magic that happens with this product. And again, we don't want to say we cure or anything like that. It just means our body is getting back into balance, the magic machines that they are, and it just starts going into its own self-cure state. Brenda Turkowski, she's our Miss Canada. She's lost over 100 pounds, also very successful with our company as well. Here's my friend Barbara. Can you tell that she's in her 70s? She looks like she's in her 40s. Look at her showing off her little belly. And Barbara's size 7 now. She's so happy. And she was also in Punta Cana. It was great to see her and Randy. Colleen, my friend out of Omaha, picture paints 1,000 words. This lady's transition happened in well less than a year. Yes, well less than a year. Valerie St. Jack went from size very, very big to size skinny jeans. She's on our brochures. She's a Canadian outside of Victoria and very, very happy with her results as well. There are so many stories. We have a brand new product I'd like to share with you. It's called Advantage. While the drops are going to promote overall weight loss, Advantage accelerates the loss of harmful visceral fat around your waist and hips. Weight gain around the middle is associated with an increased risk for high blood pressure, elevated cholesterol, heart disease, and diabetes. These are all killers, guys. These are killers. We're talking more than a few inches around your waist and pulling in your belts a little bit. We're talking about being there for your kids, your grandkids. So we need to look after our health and take charge. The advantages to this product are it increases calories burned by 10 times, so you get leaner faster. It helps reduce stubborn visceral fat to slim waist and hips, helps increase metabolism so you burn more calories, and it achieves fat burning cells in your brown adipose tissue and helps prevent weight regain following your weight loss. We have so many great products. I have a muffin top. It was only on my left, not on my right. Very curious. But after just a short time on the Advantage, and I noticed that a good percentage of my muffin top is now gone. So I'm pretty excited. All right, we have got on board. I hope Rick is with us tonight as well, but I've got Crystal on board with us. Now, I want to share this. Have a good look at these pictures, guys, from February the 4th, or is that April 2nd? I'm not sure, but it's a very short period of time. Oh, no, it's going to be April 2nd. April 2nd on the two pictures on the left, and October 2nd, 1 year later, down 110 pounds. Holy cadoodle. All the way from Foley, Alabama. Crystal, are you with us tonight?
I am. Wait,
Hi.
hold on. Rick's actually here too. Hold on.
Oh, I'm so happy. Thank you both. I
Hi.
know it's late for you. You stayed up past your bedtime. Thank you
Yeah.
so much for being on
Sorry,
our.
we're not made up. We're not pretty and photogenic tonight.
I think you're beautiful. I think you are. Thank you for being on the call. So, first of all, who wants to start? How did you get the drops? Who introduced you to this product? How did it all happen?
Well, Melanie Smith, who happens to be our preacher's daughter, she lives in Birmingham, which is about 3 hours away. Um, I had seen her making these posts, and Rick's health was very bad. And we both were obviously very large, and I wanted to give it a try. Um, we were just going through a lot at the time, so I ordered it. And actually, our before pictures were taken when we were in Texas visiting our son. Um, so we didn't start the drops for a while because I didn't like the food list. I didn't know about it when we bought it. And I probably wouldn't have tried it if I would have known about it, to be honest with you. We're foodies. I actually owned a food truck. So food was a big part of our life. So finally got to the point where I'm like, okay, we're going to try this. We can do this. We're not going to do the food list. We're going to do what we want to do. Because I wasn't ready to give up cheese and bread, specifically cheese and bread. But for me, within the first week, I noticed in Rick his inflammation going down. Um, and I don't want to take away from his story, but I know there's things he's going to not talk about that he didn't see in himself. Um, he had a lot of health issues, one of them being fibromyalgia. He would come home in pain every single day and not be able to move. And I noticed that wasn't happening. And I was like, are you just not in pain? What's going on? And he was like, yeah, I'm not in pain.
Yeah, I didn't notice it right away.
And so, believe it or not, like the first week, we did go easy on the cheese and we did kind of like go easy on the carbs and the bread. We weren't 100% clean eating because I didn't really understand how things worked. That was a whole process. Um, I had noticed my night sweats were gone. My anxiety was down a lot. We just these changes. The biggest thing was the energy. So we didn't exercise for the longest time because we had energy to do things. Because of his fibromyalgia, we weren't doing a lot. So we found ourselves actually getting out and doing yard work. About 4 years ago, we had a house fire. And then about 3 months after that was Hurricane Sally. So we had a lot of devastation just on our property and our house that hadn't been addressed, that we were actually getting out and getting to. So all of this was happening. And I'll let him tell his part.
Well, hello, I'm Rick.
Hi, Rick.
Right now I'm 57 years old, but when we started to drop, I was 55. And I was on 7 different blood pressure medicines. Uh, I would very rarely see past 7 p.m. I would, like Crystal said, I would come home from work, no energy. All I wanted to do is sit and eat carbs. Uh, and after the carbs, I would be passed out, sleeping. Uh, Very uncomfortable pain, no motivation to do anything physical. And like I said, I was 307 pounds and on 7 different blood pressure medicines. And I finally, after telling myself, you know what, maybe this is just how you're supposed to be at this age. I'm 55. Maybe it's just, life catching up to me. And my family doctor told me, you're way too young to be living the way you are and to looking the way you are and for your blood pressure and all the medication you're on. He said, you got to do something or you might not be here in a few years. So Crystal told me about these drops. And at first I'm very skeptical and I'm a doubter. And I told her, no, we're not going to do them. I said, if you want to, you can do them, but I'm not. When she kept on challenging me to try them, begging me to try them. So to prove her wrong, I said, you know what? Okay, I'm going to give them a try just to prove to you nothing. There is no get health. There's just like there's no get rich quick, there's no get healthy quick. So I tried them and I gave it my best. And like Crystal said, I was expecting to be able in about 2 or 3 weeks be able to say, look, not only did I not lose weight, I'm gaining weight. But that's not the case. And I'm not a salesman. I can't sell anything. All I want to do is say this. I can sell these because they worked for me. And they not only changed my life, they saved my life. I am now off of most of the blood pressure medication that I was on. Uh, well, it's going on 10 o'clock here and I'm still awake. I'm very physically active now. Like Crystal said, when we first started the drops, we weren't really working out. We weren't exercising. We were doing yard work and house projects that we never really had the energy to do. But the clean eating and the drops and getting your hormones in check really is what worked for us. And here's another thing. I tell everyone this too. My family doctor, he's Korean and he's very by the book, very professional. And he does not talk about things he should not talk about. So, of course, these drops not being approved by the what is it, the
FDA.
FDA. I was surprised because he normally would not comment on them, but he asked me what I'm doing. He did blood work and he could not believe how good the blood work was. And he said, "What are you doing?" And I showed him these drops. And he looked at them and he said, "Well, I can't really comment on them because they're not clinically proven or by the FDA." He said, "But I'm going to tell you this, whatever you're doing, keep doing it."
Bravo.
Yeah.
Congratulations for both of you for achieving good health And thank you that God kicked that skepticism right out of that head of yours.
Yeah. Yes.
And for you to both get to a healthy weight. I'm so grateful for you to be on my call tonight. Thank you so very much for sharing your story with me.
And you have my permission to share my story with anyone. And if they want to talk to me and Crystal, like I say, these drops are not just life changers, but they're life savers.
Yes, absolutely. That's right. And your doctor was right to give you that warning. So glad you heeded the warning. Thank you so much for sharing your story.
Yes,
Yeah,
thank you for having us.
have a wonderful night.
Thank you.
All right, bye.
Good night.
Wow, what an amazing story. I reached out to Crystal and asked that her and Rick come on the program. And wow, I don't know what they're going to say, right? And again, you hear from the horse's mouth that these drops change people's lives. Now let's go over to the other part of the country called Grand Rapids, Michigan, and I'm excited to hear from James LaPonsie. So listen, guys, we've already talked to Rick, and you're going to hear from James. Guess what, man? You have hormones too. Now, when I show this picture, James looks like a younger version of the guy on the left, like a younger brother or something, or maybe even his son. So let's talk to James and find out how his life has changed with the drops. Come on board, Mr. LaPonsie.
Hello, Risha. Thank you so much for having me. And what a great story from Rick and Crystal. And
I know, I know. Wow, this blows me away every time.
it is, and like he said, Rick said it best at the end there. He just said not only life changing but life saving, and that's how I feel as well. I was introduced to the drops. It's been 1 year this month.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you so much. And I was at a dark place. I wasn't medically. I wasn't on a lot of medicines, maybe should have been, but I hadn't seen a doctor, but I just knew that I was heading down the wrong path. And so I was introduced to him by James Zing. James Zing is one of the original, what we would call a drops partner that helped bring the drops to market a little over 13, 14 years ago.
I
So
love James and Becky. I was with them in Punta Cana. It was great.
yeah, yeah, just an incredible couple. And I'm glad that he said yes 13 or 14 years ago. I think it's going on 14 years now, which allowed me to say yes. And but it wasn't right away. James just you know how James does it. He just builds that friendship. He's not a pushy person, and so he dropped me into what we have online is a group, which is God. There's so many people in there from all over the world, men and women, different shape sizes and different fitness levels and health levels. So I was in there for months, and James just built that friendship, and he said, "Hey, I like your profile picture. I might have changed it." And he said, and I started hearing some of the stories, and the real people getting the real results, and in that group. And so if you're invited into that group, get in that group and just hang in that group. There's no high pressure sales or anything. You can be a mouse in the house or a fly on the wall and just kind of listen in on what people are doing. And then he came to me, and this was so it's been a year now, and he just said, hey, would you like to give our drops a try? And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm fat, I'm overweight, I got no energy, and I knew that I was absolutely I was in a dark place and heading down, a wrong path. Like I said, not on medicine or anything like that medically, but feeling that I was definitely heading that way. And I guess I was going off the road and hit a guardrail. James was my guardrail with the drops. And so first week got started and ordered the drops and lost 10 pounds and 2.5 inches in my belly in 7 days. And I was like, wow. And didn't do any exercise for the first 30 days. I just thought, let's really see what the drops are about. And James done that too. And I think he lost 25 pounds in 40 days without exercise. So my first month, I did start probably the second week walking 3 to 5 days a week, about 15 or 20 minutes. And then that ended up being a 48-pound weight loss and 11.5 inches of dangerous visceral belly fat. So, and I like to, and it all started, this is the little booklet that you get with the drops. And it's 19 pages, and the information in there from the approved food list, and the different phases that you go through really set me on a path to get my health back in order. And it wasn't just the weight loss and the inches, but the, as the couple before said, Rick and Crystal, the energy. I literally, I'm 59 and I feel, I'm telling you what, like when I was in my 20s, just, no aches, no pains, incredible energy. I sleep really, really well. And I do get a lot of compliments. And I say that not a braggadocious or a bragging way, but it's kind of like I'll be in a grocery store and somebody might know, hey, guy, you look great, or what are you doing? And people online and stuff. So it took some getting used to, but that's what happens, like you said, Ricia, when you're on the trip. I mean, you get everybody just looks young. The face starts to clear up, the wrinkles and the energy level and all that. So hair, people growing hair back, even. This
I know, I know.
it's amazing. And I never, as you were saying to the guys, as a man, I had no clue about hormone balance or anything until James just put me on, said, try the drops. And then I started, and he's very, very well educated on the drops. As I said, he's one of the original partners that brought him, to market. So
Well, he also dropped out of med school to do this.
Yeah, he did.
That's
Yes,
how
he
much
did.
he believed in this program and
Yep.
how he could help people on a health level rather than a sickness level.
Yeah, him and I were just on a Zoom before I jumped on this call, and yeah, he dropped out of medical school, and he's like, yeah, and his passion for it. Now he's got a just a booming business globally, all over the world, just helping people and just building friendships. And it started with the drops, but I must say that my second favorite product is the Renew, and I'm drinking mine right here. It's just amazing, and it's not something that you can go out and just get on every street corner. And it really, really is. It's an HGH natural way to boost your HGH, and
Yeah.
as you start to study that too, there's so much, but I think it's age 30, it's just a decline. Your HGH just goes, yeah. So we have the best of the best, and thank you again for having me here. And if and I'm like Rick too, if anybody wants to reach out to me, want to share my story, or if you have any other questions, feel free to, I'm all over Facebook and Instagram. You can message me, people can. So
Thank you, James. What a pleasure to speak with you. And this is definitely on recording on my YouTube channel, so people will be able to access, and I'll send you the recording as well. So grateful to hear your story, and congratulations that you've chosen the road to health, because you're going to be around for a long time. I'll see you on the next trip, right?
Thanks for having me so much. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you so much. Thank you, James. Wow. Another great story. Love it, love it, love it. This is just so great. Let's move back to my slides. So now you're probably wondering, how can you get a box? Well, you can buy retail and be a customer. One box is 221 or 176 US. A 4-pack retail is $665 or $531 in the US. So you can buy, save a little bit of money that way as well. But why would you want to pay retail when you can get better value? And I'll tell you what's going to happen, as with James, as with Crystal, as with Rick, as with me, as with Penny. Everyone says, what are you doing? You look so great. And it's human nature to say, I've started these drops, right? We even tell our doctors about it because, they see the difference in us. And they're going to ask more questions, and they're going to want to get the product as well. Last I heard, Partner Co still has a stack of commission checks that they want to be sending out to all of us. So why not pay the $29.95? It's a one-time lifetime membership. You get everything you need to track your business, to track all those paychecks you're going to make. In Canada, it's $37.95, and you become a brand partner. That it makes you eligible to purchase wholesale and various other great benefits. So just a disclaimer, my success, your success, it all depends on your desire, your passion, your willingness to learn, your willingness to apply. All of our income will be different according to the effort that you put into it. It is a business, not a job, of course, but let's talk about how you can turn drops into profits, because people want this product. Everyone is suffering from lack of energy, from overweight, too many inches, high blood pressure, diabetes, you name it. It is an epidemic that's going on. So first of all, as a brand partner, you can purchase your own products at 30% off suggested retail. So it's a great way of getting great value. And at that, you can purchase a 4-pack for $371 US. Again, the retail is $5.31. You could see the difference by being a brand partner. Keep one for yourself, and by offering it to your customers at a bit of a discount, you're able to profit $222 on the other 3 boxes and keep yours and get yours free. How cool is that, right? In Canada, a 4-pack is $4.65. You would pay retail if you were not a brand partner of $6.65. Again, keep 1 box for yourself, share the others, and you would receive profits of $240. So it's just such a win because we want to help others get healthy too. We'd like to help you set a goal to become ultimate. That's a top pay position in our company. And the great thing about ultimate, the majority of the people on my team have reached ultimate in 30 days, and that's $2,500 in profits. In the US, it's roughly about $2,700. What a difference that could make for your part-time income, right? It's called beach money. So let's talk about how we can use social media, free platforms, how you can attract an international global business. First of all, it's called System of Growth. It's a very easy, simple, duplicatable system. If you know how to copy and paste, you can do this. This is a couple of screenshots of an app you download on your phone. It's called Boards. And Boards is basically like Google storage. Week 1, there's 14 testimonials. Pull out the morning testimonial, post it. Pull out the afternoon testimonial, post it. You can even schedule your post so you can do it all on a Sunday and have it all done for the week. People are going to ask you questions in the text script for drops. All the answers are there. Again, if you can copy and paste, you can do this. It's just plug and play. And talking about Rick and Crystal, this post went out 210 pounds that these two have lost. Look at the difference. It just blows me away entirely. When I posted that, there was dozens and dozens and dozens of comments that come in. These are real people. You heard them talk tonight, and there they are sharing their testimony on Facebook. So first, what you'd like to do is activate your position and be recognized as an activated brand partner with 200 points, and you'll be eligible to receive commissions. A 4-pack in Canada is 200 points. A 4-pack in the US is 200 points. Again, you're making profits, right? Which is a cool thing. I'd like to recommend that you add in the Renew. You've got to sample this product. It is the best of the best. You'll have the best sleeps. 4-pack plus Renew in Canada is $6.29. In the US, it's only $4.76. And plus you get product that you can share with others. In the United States, you're able to buy a 10-pack for $880. Retail would have cost you $12.57. So on this $880 wholesale pricing, you could actually make a profit of well over $600. You could buy a 20-pack. Retail would have been $25.14 instead of a brand partner. It's only $17.60. You profit almost $1,600. But I highly recommend, if you can, this is the United States offer. A 30-pack is the ultimate option. You get ultimate right out of the gate. You get top pay. I'm going to explain that in a minute. It's only $2,300 as an investment, and your profits are well over $2,700. You can't even do that in a brick and mortar business in today's world. You can't even get a website developed for $2,700 or for $2,300. So what a deal. In Canada, this is an example of an ultimate pack that I put together for you. Again, your profits would be $3,100. You can pick and choose certain products that you would like to share with others, get some drops, get that inventory. We were voted the best compensation plan in the industry. Here I am in Manzanillo, Mexico. I'm not even close to my friends and family that are way out there in Canada and so on. And I was able to create a 6-figure income. You can only do that with the most generous compensation plan in the world. We are paid 9 different ways. Let me share with you. We already talked about retail profits. So when you purchase at retail and you share it with your friends and family, it's an automatic 30 points that you can make, which is a very generous profit situation. Mary's going to come along and say, I don't want to be a brand partner. I want to do what you're doing. I have a lot of friends on Facebook. I'm going to be a brand partner and buy 2 10-packs. Mary happens to be in Illinois. You're activated because you purchased that 4-pack. You would make 15% on the point value of Mary's purchase. That's $150. But if you were ultimate, you would make double. You would make 30%. You're at that top pay position. You would make $300 on that very same transaction. That's called new volume bonus. And that's why we all hustle to get to Ultimate right out of the gate. First 4 weeks, you want to get that done so you can refer others and get double or the top pay position. And also too, you want to stay qualified for commissions because people will come along, they'll go into your website, they'll purchase, you'll be sending smart links to Italy and people will purchase, that sort of thing happens. So you'll want to sell or buy 100 points of product. There's plenty of products to choose from, the MOA, the Noni, the Skincerity, and of course the drops. Another way we get paid is called base pay. Base pay is based on the formula of all the activity that happens in your business, and it's 15% of the activity. Again, based on that formula, every Friday we get paid that base pay. When you have $250 in any given week of base pay category alone, the company will put another 15% in an account called the savings bonus. That savings bonus is going to start accumulating, and over time it will build up. And as it reaches 10,000, you will get that magic phone call from the company, bells and whistles go off, and next Friday you get that 10,000 US dollars. So that's pretty exciting. There's a lot of people who have triggered these checks. Chris and Joni, my friends from Costa Rica, did it in 8 months. Jerry and Allison just got theirs. The Ashleys, Ashley and Reese just got theirs. Kim Gray, Eric Gray, they're celebrating with their family. So many people are celebrating success with this company, more than I've ever seen in my 25 years of being in this business. Last spring, a whole bunch of people went on this beautiful vacation, diamond vacation to Tahiti. That's another way we get paid, lifestyle credits. And a whole other group went to the Bahamas in July. And just recently, a whole bunch of us just went to Punta Cana, all paid for by the company. And several more are going to Bali in July. This company treats us, and I'm telling you, unless you were born with a silver spoon in your mouth, you'll never receive the kind of treatment like Partner Co wants to spoil you. At recent convention last year, there was over 800 people on stage out of 2,100 total people. Over a third of the people were doing the magic dance across the stage. Now I want to bring forward our special guest speaker. She's a mom, she's a nurse, she's got special needs children. She's really a very busy person, and she's the one that said, I'm not going to do this business, right? But DEBRA Bader is an incredible person. Oh my goodness, the things I want to say. She's right now working at the hospital in Calgary at the Foothills Hospital. And she's primarily in intensive care in cardiovascular ICU for 25 years. She's got 3 kids, one with a complex disability, completely dependent. And DEBRA brought in her entire family. In a moment, as she shares her family, we're going to share those photos with you. But look at the difference with DEBRA. Wow, let's bring her on. Number 9 power ranker in Canada. DEBRA, it was so fun to party with you in Punta Cana. Thank you for being on our call.
Thank you so much, Ricia. It's a pleasure to be on your call. And wow, those testimonials, I'm like, I could listen to them all day long, right? Can everyone hear me? And okay?
So DEBRA, I'm just so
okay, perfect.
How are you doing this? I mean, you're a nurse, you're a mom, you special needs child, you're so on the go. Tell me about how you got to the drops and how you said you're not building the business, but all of a sudden you're building the business. How did this all happen?
Yeah, you know, I 100% was not going to do this business. There was no way, because I'd done one before, Ricia, and it was pulling me away from my family. And I just thought, there's no way I'm going to do this again. Life is just too busy and this isn't really meant for me. So I really was truly just searching for help in my health and my weight gain that I had had post-menopause and everything. As it came along, I got the drops, and I knew again that you can always get them at a lower price when you join, right? And so, you know, I thought, well, that's what I'm going to do. And I was on a call with Chris Budd, and I said clear to him, I said, I just want to be very clear. I am not going to do this business. There was no way I was going to do this business. And I started the drops, and 5 days later, I started definitely, first thing I noticed was my sleep. And I started at the worst time. It was right during Calgary Stampede. And, you know, we had friends coming in and we were going out. And I thought, oh my gosh, I'm not even prepared like so many other people. And I didn't really know anyone that was doing the drops. Like I actually had responded to a hashtag and finding out that they were in Canada because I had known someone in the United States that had taken them. So I really didn't know anyone that was on them. I didn't know the list or whatever. And you know, the only reason that I have the time to do it is because of the system. The system is what makes this work. And I say anyone can do it because everything's in place. And I simply, you know, Christy Walsh said to me, well, Deb, you know, maybe just think about posting. And so I, you know, 5 days later, I put out a post because I was already talking about my health journey and my weight gain and the struggles. No matter what I was doing, I was gaining weight and feeling terrible and not sleeping. And so I thought, you know what, I'll just put out a post saying, you know, I'm excited to try these and see where it goes. And next thing you know, my phone was blowing up, and it just continued on from there.
What an amazing story. Now you brought your family on board. Let's share these pictures. I want you to talk about this as people are seeing this picture. It's a whole family affair here. We've got Ryan, Cooper,
Yeah.
and Jackson and McKenna. So let's hear about your family, how you did this as a family affair.
We did, you know, my husband, we're both healthcare workers, both work in intensive care, and so we're pretty skeptical about things. You know, we work on the end of Western medicine, right, where it's all about, you know, treating with science, and that's the one thing I loved about these drops is that there was science behind them. But we're still very, very skeptical that anything is going to actually work. And so my husband said, you know what, I'll do it with you. And he was lucky because I got the 3-pack, and otherwise he wouldn't have been doing it with me because they were all for me. But we started and we had to share the third one actually because it was going so well. And he actually lost 25 pounds. But the biggest thing with Ryan is that his energy significantly improved. He used to come home from work and he'd hit the couch and he'd have to have a nap. And he just didn't have any motivation to really, I mean, to do much of anything. You know, you have to continue going ahead with life. And when you have a daughter with that relies on you, you just have to do it. But he didn't have the motivation and his mood wasn't very good with it. And he'll be the first one to actually admit that it changed his mood as well. And he felt that he was less stressed. He can handle the stress a lot better. So I will tell you too that he was addicted to Coca-Cola. And for 27 years, I tried everything I could to get him to quit drinking Coca-Cola. And I could not get him to stop drinking it. And now he's had maybe 3, maybe 5 in 8 months, and he doesn't crave it. And it's the first time ever that has happened. Cooper is my 22-year-old that analyzes everything. He's a bit of he was a chubby kid growing up. And so he's worked really hard on his weight loss journey and eating healthy. And he reads everything and goes through the ingredients. And so he really looked at the ingredients of these products and said, okay, I'm willing to try. They didn't follow the food list per se, but he ate quite healthy. And you can see that was in 4 weeks that he transitioned that way. I mean, he had an amazing transition, and he didn't really do anything different other than taking the drops, right? And so he takes the advantage now, and he wants all the products. Actually, he looks at all through them, and he's quite excited to get going on all of them. Jackson is my 26-year-old. He has a degree in kinesiology, so again, very knowledgeable about a lot of this stuff. And that was in 4 weeks transition as well. And what they both really noticed, you know, they lost weight, but was the change in their body composition. And they also said their energy and their sleep was better.
And your daughter,
I didn't tell you about McKenna. I should tell you about McKenna because she is our daughter that you don't see a picture of. She's 25, going to be. And she has complex disabilities. And so you wouldn't think that I would put her on the drops for, and that just proves to you that it's not all about weight loss. So I put her on for the inflammation that I've seen in so many of the brand partners that have joined our team and talked to me about their results, and just noting my own with all my pain that's gone. And so I put her on for that because she has scoliosis in her back. I put it on for her sleep, and I put it on for her anxiety and her mood. And we've all noticed a difference in her in just about 6 weeks now that she's been on it. So I'm excited to see where that will go with her.
Wow, what a great story. And Deborah, you're now power ranker number 9 in Canada. How was Punta Cana?
Oh my Lord, Punta Cana was something else. We were fortunate. I went with a good friend of mine, Claudia, who's also in the business. And you know what? I mean, it was an amazing trip, amazing trip. But what I will say is I left there with going, these are real people, and the heart and the servant leadership from John Wadsworth, John Wadsworth and Darren Zobrist, and even their wives. They are in this because they truly want to make a difference in people's health and their financial wellness.
Absolutely.
Right? They are. Their heart is there, and that is their goal. This isn't something that they need to put into their bank account. And I left there going, wow, this company truly is different.
How were you treated?
It was like the red carpet. I was like, my gosh, everything from the time at the skate park, right? And the zip lining and stuff like that too. It was just absolutely amazing. So good.
Even had chair massage people there in the welcome room, to help people because everyone had traveled a long way to get there. So
Yeah.
people were spoiled with all the swag and the dinners and the parties. And it was so great to spend that time with you, Deborah. And congratulations on your incredible success.
Thank you so much. And it was so great spending time getting to know you as well, Ricia.
And such a great time to have you on our call tonight. Sorry to keep you up past your bedtime too, but thank you very, very much. It was certainly worth it to have that extra time to listen to the testimonials there. Thank you, Deborah.
Yes.
Just a couple more slides to wrap things up, and then we'll let you be on your way. Well, this is great to see a whole family come together and celebrate with the drops. I love that. So how will you know? You've heard it from Deborah and how her family has experienced. We heard it from Crystal and Rick. We've heard it from James. You've heard my story. How will you know? Well, first of all, you're going to have more energy. Absolutely. You will sleep better and you'll have that improved mood. You won't be so miserable all the time. You'll have that increase in your libido and reduction in inflammation. And guess what? You're going to have to resize your rings because when you talk with your hands, your rings will go flying because we lose all these inches everywhere in our body. You're going to be getting some skinny jeans, better elimination, digestion. You'll have more brain clarity. You'll feel stronger. I live in what I call FOP, fresh off the plane. People are coming off that airplane with bugs and viruses and bronchitis and all that. I don't get sick. I mean, I'm just so protected by these products and such an overall sense of well-being. So in summary, you're probably been shaking your head, said, yep, I agree with that. But now think about all those people that you know out there, your coworkers, your family, your brother-in-law, your cousins, your sister, your mom, your dad. So many people, fibromyalgia and diabetes and blood pressure. Again, we're not saying that we protest a cure and heal and all that kind of stuff, but it just seems that people are getting well. We can help those people just by reaching out. So are you a 1, a 2, a 3, or a 4? It's that simple. Now you don't want to be a 1. That's the person who's going to buy retail. How about become a brand partner, the $37.95 or the $29.95 US, and just purchase wholesale so that you can get that special pricing. It's the best. And then if you tell somebody about it, you're going to want to make sure that you get that commission check. Who would like to be a number 3? And like Deborah says, what the heck? I'm just going to post and just tell people I was starting this and get on this health and wealth train to ride. And Deborah soon became a number 4. Could that be you? I want to get on this health and wealth train and ride it big all the way to the top and be in next year's incentive rewards trip. We'd love to see you on that trip with us. where you can live the dream. And I'll tell you, 200 of us were living the dream at that resort in Punta Cana. Enrolling is easy. It takes as little as 5 minutes. In 1 year, my life has completely changed when I said yes to buying 2 boxes, and I'm going to post and watch what happens. My year is completely changed. Become a brand partner today. We look forward to seeing you and being a brand partner. Next call is Thursday, May 15th. There's a typo there on that blurb. And you know, what have you got to lose, right? Besides a whole bunch of inches and a whole bunch of pounds, and maybe some of those big bills and credit card bills and all that. Why not, right? I want to say thank you to DEBRA Bader. Thank you so much for being on this call. To Crystal and Rick for coming on board, to James LaPonsie, to beautiful Penny Toner for being my co-hostess, and to all the brand partners that support the call, and to you guests, because it's because of you that we're here tonight. So please get your questions answered. I'm going to have to tie up this call and wrap it up, close the recording, but there's a lot of us that can get your questions answered.